Joining me now is Tom Homan, former acting ICE director, former Fox Business contributor, and Heritage visiting fellow. Tom, before we move on, just Godspeed to Bishop Evans, and may God comfort and bless his family as they come to terms with this loss. Meantime, Tom, the White House was silent for days after the death of that Texas National Guard soldier, Bishop Evans, until finally Jen Psaki had to respond to our Fox reporter, Jackie Heinrich. Listen to what Psaki had to say.
Does the White House feel any responsibility for his death?
Well, of course, we are mourning the loss of his life. I would note that the National Guard work for the states, and so he is an employee of the Texas National Guard, and his efforts and his operation were directed by there, not by the federal government.
Tom?
She's disgusting. She's got to be the least smart woman to ever take that role. Look, the reason the Texas National Guard and Texas DPS are on the border, because that White House has failed to do their job. The first president in the history of my life that came into the office and unsecured a border, which has resulted in just not the death of this National Guardman, God bless him and his family, but look, a record amount of migrants have died the first year of Joe Biden, just short of 700 on U.S. soil. I don't remember that any time in my career. Then you got over 100,000 fentanyl deaths of fentanyl coming across that border. The Texas governor is doing the right thing. He's not only protecting Texas, he protects the United States, because every person they arrest is one less Godaway. Every ounce of fentanyl they take are a lot less overdose deaths. The governor is doing the job of the Secretary of Homeland Security, and they're doing a great job at it. So Jen Psaki, it really upsets me that she wants to put it on the state of Texas when they're there because of failures of this administration.
Will this change, Tom, the failures? We had, more than 50 Republican members of Congress have blasted Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas in his response to the growing border crisis. It's been a crisis from day one. And they're questioning his suitability for office, and he's going to be testifying in front of Congress this week. Getting rid of him, would that change anything?
Absolutely. Look, I said back in April that he needs to be impeached. So I hope Congress, gets in him during this hearing and ask him some serious questions about, number one, name one thing you've done to secure the border. They haven't done a single thing to secure the border. And under his leadership, the numbers keep climbing every month. Under his leadership, more Americans are dying on fentanyl. Under his leadership, more migrants are dying. Under his leadership, cartels have control of our border. People need to understand, the Border Patrol has lost operational control of our border. More than half of Border Patrol agents are processing units and processing facilities not on the border. That's why the fentanyl is coming across. And Bill Maloogian did a great job down there, but a lot of criminals get arrested. But a lot of criminals are in that Godaway. Just last month, 67,000 Gotaways. You push it up for a year, that's 800,000 Gotaways.
Tom, how many people have to die, whether it's trying to cross the border, particularly fentanyl overdoses? Biden acts like this is not a U.S. problem, and it is. Ask any person, not just Bishop Evans' family, but anybody who's lost a loved one to fentanyl poisoning. They should be going to funerals. These jacklegs, and that's an insult to jacklegs in the White House, they need to start going to funerals.
They won't. Look, they're ignoring what's happening in that border, and it's disgusting at the highest levels. I've never seen a president. Look, first of all, historic illegal immigration, historic deaths, not only from fentanyl, but migrants are dying. A National Guardman's died. And the President of the United States hasn't even been down there, not once, during the historic immigration crisis. And as far as Mayorkas, he needs to be impeached. And they're doubling down on shutting down all interior enforcement operations, because I found out today they're going to issue a policy saying you can't arrest an illegal alien if they're a parent. If they have a child under age 18, hands off. Now, what is that going to do to the border? Family units are going to be rushing across the border because they can enter illegally, be released, even if they go to court, which most don't, and the judge says, you must leave. It's the order of the immigration court, you be deported. Guess what? She's a parent. ICE can't arrest her. The secretary, again, is sending out a wide message to the cartels. Hey, I'm going to throw you another banana here. I want to throw you another getaway. I'm going to throw you another magnet to come into this country. And that's exactly what he's doing.
Tom, the Supreme Court heard the case about Biden's cancellation of the Trump-era immigration policy, the Remain in Mexico policy. And as the Wall Street Journal writes, that it essentially, what is unnoted by critics is that Congress established the legal basis for this policy as part of the 1996 bipartisan immigration reform. And in the suit, Texas is arguing that the Biden administration en masse, that what they're doing, it actually violates the 1996 law, that they don't have the authority, the executive authority to trample on what was a law. And so does this change, whatever the Supreme Court decides, does this change anything in terms of this border crisis?
Look, this administration is not only ignoring the law, they're actually violating the law. I've written affidavits with Texas and Arizona and Florida, and we're suing them. We're 5-0. We're winning. We're winning because we're proving not only they ignore the statute, they're actually violating the statute. Matter of fact, the last judge says that the secretary's instructions to ICE are enforcing ICE to commit crimes. So look, we won the case of the Remain in Mexico program, but Secretary Mayorkas isn't implementing the program as he was ordered by the courts to do. They're doing about 5% of the Remain in Mexico removals the Trump administration did. So they're looking at the Supreme Court and just, and they're going to keep doing what they're going to do regardless of what the court orders. They've proven that. So I don't think it makes a difference to this administration what the court says or what's legal or what's not legal. The secretary's ignoring the statute, even when that policy just told you about the non-arresting parent. Where is that in the Immigration Nationality Act? The parent can't be arrested. Show me the statute that says you get cleared if you're a parent. There's nothing in there. He's constantly rewriting the law, and that's a job of the legislator, not the executive branch.
Tom, thank you for being here, always, and telling it like it is.
Thanks for having me.
With your passion and your heart, Tom Homan.